Hey people of the VC, it's Andy Cloudy Milder with a contest entry for the Rock Scout, who's celebrating 250 subs, although I think you've got a few more than that, 266 at the time of filming this. Scott's got a great channel. He's from the same city as me. I can generally vouch that he's a thoroughly nice chap. Met him earlier this year when he and I went down to see Metal Mickey, and we saw Chris Holmes on his Mean Man tour, which was fun. So yes, Scott asked us 5 questions, so I'm going to dive straight into them. The first one is your favourite year in music and why. I could probably pick any year from the 80s and show a bunch of albums, and they'd all be killer albums, and probably a good argument as to why they're my favourite year in music. But I've opted for 1987, simply because that was the first year I ever went to a gig, so my first live music, and it had a profound effect on me. The energy and the excitement and the beer and everything like that. It was absolutely brilliant. So I picked didn't ask to show records, but I've picked 5 records that I played a lot in '87. They're the ones that I had in some format in '87. I didn't have the originals necessarily, but they're not ones I've discovered since that I've come to enjoy. They're ones I was actually listening to at the time. So first one, Aerosmith, Permanent Vacation. Played that a lot. That got a lot of spins. Anthrax, Among the Living. I didn't actually own this on vinyl at the time. I had it on on one side of a C90 with Spreading the Disease on the other. But absolutely amazing album. No Introduction. This was another one that I had on a C90. Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. Metallica, $5.98 EP, Garage Days Revisited. This is my original copy from '87. It's the UK version, so it only has 4 tracks on it: Helpless, Crash Course in Brain Surgery, The Small Hours, Last Caress, Green Hell. I think the US version has, is it The Weight on it, and the tracks are in a slightly different order. When I hear that, it doesn't sound right. This to me is the definitive edition, just because I know it so damn well. Yeah, so play that to death as well. They actually toured, so at that first gig was Donaldson. Obviously I've done a video of that before. They played a few tracks from this as they were kind of touring with it. Another EP. This is from my, I had this in '87 and still have it now, obviously. Testament live at Eindhoven. Obviously sort of thrash was becoming a lot more mainstream around this time, and I was starting to get an ear for it then, certainly with all the more commercial bands that kind of were on the bigger labels. So yeah, Testament. That's my 5. Yeah, so next question was, give me an all-star band supergroup. I've done a few of these in contests in the past, so I wanted to choose something slightly different. I've gone down the kind of self-imposed rule route of not more than one person from a particular band. I've gone for a 5-piece, so 2 guitars, separate vocalist, bass and drums. I've gone for a band that may work. I mean, I'm not big on individuals in bands. Vocalists, I can tell you what I like or what I don't like, but I couldn't necessarily tell you what I like about a drummer or a bass player or a guitarist, and I'm not musically minded when it comes to individual instruments and instrumentalists and what have you. So I've picked these guys because of what I've seen of them either live or on videos, and I think would be a good group if they formed a super group. So I've gone for Rob Reiner on drums, obviously from Anvil. He's great to see live. I was lucky enough to see Anvil a couple of years ago now. So he'd be on the drums. On bass, I've gone for, you expect me to say Steve Harris, aren't you? But I've gone for Nibs Carter from Saxon. He has so much energy on stage. Absolutely brilliant guy to watch. My guitarists, I've gone for Dave Murray from Maiden. I just love the way he the other guitarists kind of move around a lot on the stage. Adrian Smith a bit, and Yannick Gers completely ridiculously too much. But Dave Murray just sort of stands there in the same spot the whole time and just plays either the rhythm or the leads sublimely. So I'd have him in there as well. And I'd have Kai Hansen as well. He's the only one in this group that I've not actually seen live, but I love just about everything that Kai Hansen's been involved in, so I had to have him in my band. And up front on vocals, could have chosen a million, but I went for Rob Halford, Judas Priest, so because he's just got such a great range and can do the screams and the low bits, and so that's my group: Reiner, Carter, Hansen, Murray, and Halford. Question 3: your favourite movie soundtrack? Had to be Fastway, Trick or Treat. Back in the days where you had to go to the local Blockbuster or whatever my local one was called and hire videos. I hired this video out so many times in what, it's 87, or it might have even been 88, well 87. So this edition came out in, I'm still thinking of 87 being the year, because that would have been the year I think this would have come out on video. The soundtrack itself is from 1986, but I watched this movie every day for a few weeks. I absolutely loved it. You can actually see it on YouTube. Someone's got a rip of it on there, and it's truly awful now, but it's still funny and from that nostalgic value. But it's mainly sort of Fastway doing the soundtrack, but yeah, I've picked this one. Question 4 was my favourite music collaboration. That's easy. I've gone for Motorhead and Girls' School with the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. It's got Please Don't Touch on side A, with Denise on drums, Kim on rhythm guitar, Kelly and Eddie on lead guitars, Enid and Lemmy on bass, and Kelly and Lemmy on vocals. Then Emergency is on the B-side with Denise on drums, Eddie on guitar, Lemmy on bass, Eddie on vocals, and Lemmy on backing vocals, and Bomber as well with Kenny, Denise, Enid, and Kim. So that's my collaboration. My favourite live performance, I wasn't sure whether you meant one I've seen myself or one that I've watched on video, what have you, but the first concert I ever saw and that wasn't live. I had the VHS of Live After Death, and I played that to death. I've still got it somewhere, but I have no idea where it is. It's in a box in storage somewhere or other. This is from the DVD version. So that was kind of my first experience of seeing heavy metal bands play live, was watching this video. My favourite being there probably would have been Anthrax in Cardiff when they were on the Among the Living tour. I had seen Anthrax at Donington that year, but I think they played in November. But it was kind of my first experience of seeing a thrash band in an indoor, dark, lights down, and the show, and they did the whole sort of first half of the set, pretty much dressed like this, and then the second half they came out in all the goofy shorts and t-shirts and did I'm the Man and finished everything off, and it was absolutely brilliant. I still remember it today. It was the same show that they did the Oidif Nick of S in the nice fucking video VHS, which I've also got somewhere, but no idea where it is at the moment. So there we go. That's my 5 answers to your 5 questions, Scott. Do check out Scott's channel. Get him up to 300, hopefully by the time he completes this contest. Check out his channel. He's a massive Motley Crue fan, so I've got my I dug this out because this was when I watched Scott's Motley Crue collection. He's got a brilliant Motley Crue collection. He did a video about it recently, and this is probably the one thing I've got that you didn't have in there. So it's the 12-inch single of Girls, 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 and this is the song at the time that kind of put me off Motley Crue, to be honest with you. But so I dug it out, and it's been in this inner plastic inner sleeve that picture just come in for best part of what, 30 years now. When was this? 1980. This was 87 as well. The best part of 30 years in this, and it was stuck to it, and it was dirty as hell, so I gave it a really deep clean and played it, and I thought I was really familiar with the song. I kind of enjoyed it more than I thought I would. So I've got the album, which I picked up a couple of years ago, but I hardly ever played. I'm going to give that another spin. So who knows, I may well get converted over to that one again as my tastes change over the years. I'm rambling. Check out Scott's channel. I will leave a link below. Great contest, Scott, and good luck with getting many more subs, and hope to see you again soon, buddy. Cheers.